Next, we're going to look throughout the lower extremity to determine where your myofascial restrictions might be, which could be leading to some of the sciatica symptoms. So the first place you're going to want to look for is in your buttock. All right, it's really common that people have an overstretched, weak, irritated buttock, which will lead to some sciatica symptoms. Some of the reasons that might be happening would be from leg crossing, okay, lots of sitting, sleeping in this position, and poor walking mechanics, okay? If I sleep in this position for a long period of time, that's going to overstretch that buttock, all right? It's going to lead to some irritation. So I can start with my hand. I can just poke in there, all right? If it's tender, that's a problem, all right? This ties in down into the iliotibial band region in here, so I could also just poke in there. If that's tender, that's a problem, all right? So for a lot of us, the hand might not do the job, so a foam roller can work a little bit better. And this is a great treatment option, but it's also a good way to diagnose if you have any of those myofascial restrictions. So let's look in this buttock to start. So what you'll do is you'll just sit up on the foam roller. All right, I'll do my right one here. So I'm going to place my right ankle on my left knee. I'm going to grab my left knee, or excuse me, I'm going to grab my right knee with my left hand, and I'm just going to roll back and forth in my buttock. If this is very painful, or really there's a fair amount of tenderness in there, that's a problem. That's an area that needs to either be strengthened, foam rolled, massaged, and probably not stretched. All right. Secondly, I'll get down into my iliotibial band here. So my iliotibial band comes from my ilium up here down to my tibia, iliotibial band. All right. I can roll back and forth here and just look to see if any of that's tender. All right. If that's tender, all right, that's a problem. That's a myofascial restriction. All right. Because everything's connected, tension in here will pull on my hip and my buttock region. It can even pull on my back to cause some of those sciatica symptoms. From this position, I'd roll forward and get into my quadriceps, all right, and my hip flexors. Now just again, look for these tender areas. And if I'm finding stuff, again, that's a problem, it needs to be addressed. Next, I'd go into my calf here, okay? And I once had a problem where I had some sciatica going on, and really the best way to fix it was just foam rolling my calf. Every time I fold my calf, I'd get like these little zings, okay? It's called the Tinel sign, all right? And I get these little zingers in my calf, and really all I need to do is just foam roll that out, and then the sciatica went away. So you can start by just going back and forth. Here, let me back up a little. So we can just roll back and forth like this. I can look from side to side, get here, and if I'm very tender in there, I have some myofascial restrictions that need to be addressed. So I look on the outside of my calf, the central portion of my calf, and the inside of my calf. And it can be a little bit tricky to get into that. And lastly, you can even look in the bottom of your foot, okay? Your sciatic nerves runs from your low back all the way down to your foot. So you could, just massage with your hand to see if anything's tender in there, or even just step on a lacrosse ball and do some massage with the lacrosse ball on the bottom of your foot here. We have a video showing you how to actually do some massage there. But if you got some tenderness in there, that could be a factor. Now, these myofascial restrictions don't mean that they're definite contributors to the sciatica, but they could be, all right? And I would say it's very common, again, that buttock region. That's a real biggie. So, number one, if you have low back pain, treat it. Follow the therapeutic exercise videos that we have on the website, get in good posture, and just trying to get in that good alignment so you fix the low back. That's number one. Number two, I'd look in the hip and buttock region. Number three, look in the iliotibial band. Number four, perhaps in the hamstring. Oh, I didn't show you the hamstring. So the hamstring, you would just get up on here, roll back and forth like this, okay? Look in the hamstring, the calf, potentially the foot. All right, guys, so hopefully that'll help determine whether or not, your back is involved or you got a myofascial restriction involved, if not both.